A black woman was accused of stealing diapers that she did not steal, and they killed her baby.
A 1-year-old boy was fatally shot by police responding to a shoplifting incident in a Walmart parking lot. Here's what happened. 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was killed by police in a Mississippi Walmart parking lot after officers opened fire on his family's car while his mother and aunt were trying to flee the scene after allegedly stealing diapers.
One box of diapers to them was worth a baby's life.
The Mississippi Department of Public Safety said in a statement that an officer fired shots after the driver reportedly sped in the direction of police that were trying to stop the car.
Cohen Wiley's mother told officers there was a baby in the car. She said it. She screamed it, and they fired anyway, taking the life of an innocent 1-year-old baby.
I raised my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was bagging up and she hit a car as I was opening the door, so the door flew back in. By the time I sat my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, and the other shots hit her in her arm and her thigh. And we left and went to Senatobia hospital where he was pronounced dead.
They knew a 1-year-old was in a vehicle.
A family is grieving the loss of little 1-year-old Cohen Wiley.
I'm just lost for words, to be honest.
Everybody held accountable.
Someone need to be held accountable for it.
Now, concerned community members have identified the officer as Sergeant Hunter Foster, who has been with the police department for just over a year. Now, he appears to have previously worked for the DeSoto Police Department, where county residents have lodged complaints about his behavior and just how he was as an officer. Now, photos circulating online is purportedly of Foster, though that remains unconfirmed. And when I checked his LinkedIn, the profile was set to private. Now, he is currently on administrative leave for the shooting, and the community is demanding answers, and they've organized vigils and protests at the Walmart where the baby died. And how are the police responding to their demands for transparency? By standing guard outside that same Walmart, decked out in full riot gear while they tear gas the community.
So this is where we are. From the case of Rick Chow and Cyrus Belton to now this case involving a 1-year-old Cohen Wiley. A 1-year-old black child is dead. And according to the reports, it all began with an accusation that his mother had stolen diapers. Diapers that likely cost less than $50. Just think about that. What is happening to our humanity? What is happening to our empathy? How do we get to a point where an innocent 1-year-old child loses his life in a situation that started over something as small as shoplifting accusation? And I want to pause right there, because that deserves a pause. Is there any item in the store, any piece of merchandise that is worth human life, especially the life of a 1-year-old child? These are the questions that people across America are asking right now. Many black Americans are outraged. Many Americans of all backgrounds are demanding answers. They want to know how this happened, why it happened, and who should be held accountable. Let's watch these clips, and as you are watching, remember that the video is for educational purpose. And if you want to support me, just click on that like button. I will come back at the end and talk about it.
A shattered window and bullet hole in the windshield. The aftermath of a deadly police shooting in Senatobia, Mississippi that resulted in the death of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley. The shooting sparking outrage.
I'm more angry because the situation that took place really was unnecessary. What I'm hearing from what happened, it was unnecessary.
According to investigators, the shooting, which took place Sunday in this Walmart parking lot, occurred when officers responded to a shoplifting call involving 2 adults and a child. Authorities say the 2 adults, now identified by the family's lawyer as the boy's mother and her friend, tried to get away, driving toward and nearly hitting an officer. Another officer then firing at the car. In this video, officers can be seen running. One witness telling a local reporter of the 2 adults. One was carrying the child, the other a box of diapers.
Policeman shot, open fire in a public setting over allegedly some Pampers.
Investigators say the trio ended up at a local hospital where the 1-year-old was pronounced dead. One of the adults suffering critical injuries. No officers were injured. The family of Cohen Wiley now distraught and demanding answers.
I don't know anything right now. My grandson gone. I just want justice.
Tonight, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is now investigating the shooting.
And I seen the officers take off running, not in the car, I'm talking about on feet. And these are the sheriffs and the police, and they're running through the parking lot. And I see the car take off, you know. So I'm like, in my head, like, I know they're not chasing the car. They don't think they're going to catch the car, literally. Then I hear gunshots. And I'm like, I know they're not shooting at a car that's leaving in a public. This is Walmart.
I know we're tired. I know we're being consistently gaslit and attacked and then jailed for defending ourselves against the violence of racism that they pretend doesn't exist. James Baldwin told us the truth decades ago when he said, to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage almost all of the time. But you know what I do with my rage? I understand that my rage is righteous, but I also understand that I must focus my rage on what matters most, and that is my people, our liberation. We must focus our rage on building our unity and therefore power to protect us from the consistent violence of their racism. We can't afford any more half measures, no more division. Watch them now make excuses as to why this happened to this innocent baby. Somehow they will make it the mother's fault and not the racist police officers who murdered her child. We cannot continue this cycle of negotiating with this racist country. We do not negotiate with terrorists. Please hear me. They want you out in these streets. Don't go where they want you. Go where they don't want you. They don't want you organizing. They don't want you unifying. They don't want you self-educating about your history. They want you angry and without power. They want you out in these streets so they can pick you off one by one. It's okay that we're grieving this unimaginable loss, but it is not okay to give up. Our children are on the front lines here, and our unity and our focused rage is the only thing that can protect them. It's nation time. If you know, you know. I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
The last box of diapers I bought cost me around $42, and a cop in Mississippi just decided that's also the price tag on a human life. He decided that badge gives him that right. Please spare me the lecture on the risks or ethics of shoplifting, as if a teenager hasn't slipped a lip gloss into her purse and made it out alive. People on the internet are arguing about if mom had a receipt. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A baby was shot. A baby is dead. And $42 in diapers was the price on his head. I'm trying to understand the ethos. Is this pro-life? Is this loving thy neighbor? What politics and religion do you subscribe to that justify the death of a child? What altar do you kneel at when you say, but she, instead of just this is a tragedy? Does your deity not caution you on these complexities, on how theft for survival is not a crime, but if it were, death is not the penalty, and a child should never be the one who pays the price? I don't care if she had a receipt, and I don't need God to tell me our future is bleak if we can't agree that stealing for your basic needs, allegedly, is the result of a society that fails mothers and doubles down when they kill her baby as a punishment, and then goes all in when they say she deserved it. Yesterday, some big box company maybe lost $42, and a mother lost her child.
They were accused of stealing diapers, obviously for the child. Quote, I want to remind everyone that this is about a freaking company. This is about a corporation and their private policy to the consumer, and that is you. That private policy is, if someone who is an alleged consumer inside of a Walmart and they are accused of shoplifting, the accused is not the guilty. If a private company, loss prevention operative, accuses a Walmart shopper of theft, no matter what that theft may be, they have what's called a ZT policy, zero tolerance. They prosecute all cases. That individual or individuals, those individuals will be, as Walmart would say, prosecuted, and some will add to the fullest extent of the law. So because of this policy, That has been around for many years with Walmart. And because of their relationship with the local police department and this known policy, they treat the Walmart theft complaint as if it was dispatched from 911, as if someone witnessed some kind of grand felony taking place. Do you have their vehicle information? Was it in the parking lot? You have cameras there. Do you have a visual? Well, we can find them. We don't have to shoot at a vehicle we don't have to run them down. It's a misdemeanor most of the time. So now a child is dead. You have a crime of survival likely because a person typically doesn't steal Pampers if they have enough disposable income or income to take care of responsibilities to where they can avoid all of this by buying the Pampers. And the police shoot them, kill them, incite. Well, it looks like they were.
And I want everybody to look at this baby's face, especially when folks hop on the internet, talk about everybody ain't broke, and be reminded that you may be in a great situation. You may be afforded the ability to pay your bill, but everyone is not. And these are the people that we have to protect. These are the people that we have to stand up for. Black people make up the highest percentage of folks that are homeless, which is why homelessness has been criminalized. Poverty is a man-made thing that we have used to shame folks into saying that they haven't worked hard enough, that they should just get another job. But at the same time, they shouldn't apply for social services or welfare because that's taking advantage. Many places around the nation are going through primary elections right now, including today in DC. If the candidates that are running for pivotal positions in the area of the world in which you live are not grounded in politics that speak from the bottom up versus the top down, meaning that they're not campaigning to ensure that the most disenfranchised people in the area in which you live are the people in which they're looking to take care of, produce legislation to get behind, ensure that those folks have the basic ass necessities to feed, clothe, and house themselves, they do not deserve your vote. And these billion-dollar companies and corporations that have hourly employees willing to call up police on your community member or are locking you inside or outside the grocery store without scanning a receipt, you shouldn't be patronizing those either. May this baby rest in peace.
I don't even really know what else to say, except that this place is a load of shit. And I'm gonna say something that might seem a little controversial and ruffle some feathers, but I really don't give a shit, honestly. Shooting someone for stealing diapers is actually madman behavior. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Shooting somebody over necessities is crazy, especially in the economy that we're in right now. Times are rough, and shooting people, like, it would make sense if the person had a gun or a weapon and they were approaching you. But in this case, this was responding to a shoplifting incident that people were only, suspicious of, and you shot at them and ended up killing a 1-year-old child. And no media is talking about this because, of course, we know what country this is. I mean, we literally just had the whole thing with Rick Chow and Cyrus. And black kids are not seen as important. And people wonder why, when black people reciprocate certain energy a type of way, they always get offended or always tell them to be the bigger person. This is why, bro. This is literally why.
And do you know how desperate you have to be to steal diapers, much less a box of diapers? Just one? This is a system that cannot be reformed because this is a system doing what they think is its job. It is not to protect people. It is not to help people. It is not to offer aid. It is to cause harm and pain and suffering under the guise of power and control. No amount of kind words, good energy, or even action is enough to bring this family the comfort that they deserve in this dark, dark hour. But we need to do all of that and more anyway because that baby should be here. And the fact that he isn't should outrage everyone.
I automatically know you are not a real human being if you are defending the cop in this situation. You just made it obvious you are a demon in disguise. A 1-year-old baby got shot because cops racially profiled the mother and assumed that they were stealing diapers when they weren't. And you are still defending the police? Why would you shoot into a car knowing that there's a baby inside over diapers when you easily could have just tracked them down later because there's cameras in the Walmart and you have their license plate already? Anybody with common sense can tell that the only reason why that cop shot into the car was because it was full of black people and he's racist and he knows that especially in this country, he can get away with it. In fact, they are already trying to hide the identity of the cop that killed KOHEN Wiley. It's just baffling that things like this will keep happening and people will still look you in the eye and say that America is not a racist country. If that cop doesn't face heavy consequences, then America has failed as a society, because how can you kill a baby and get a slap on the wrist? The older I get, the more pathetic I realize America is, because this is supposed to be a first world country, but yet I'm seeing headlines about babies dying over diapers. Rest in peace to Cohen Riley.
The fact that we have grown adults arguing whether a 1-year-old child deserves sympathy should terrify us all. A 1-year-old will not get to see their second birthday. Cohen Wiley is dead. And we have to do some deep reflection of ourselves and who we are or who we are becoming when we go to justification before grief, justification before a friggin' receipt. Scary is that people truly believe that compassion is conditional. A 1-year-old should never have to pass a character test before any person mourns. The fact that Cohen Wiley doesn't get to see another day should be enough. It's not. Y'all want receipts. You want to understand if she was driving towards or away. Child's funeral is being planned, and I don't hear enough people asking this.
The family and the residents of Senatoba want answers. There were protests that were held at that Walmart on Tuesday. Mississippi Bureau of Investigations is leading the case, and they did say that that officer that was involved has been placed on admin leave as per department policy. This family deserves answers because a little boy lost his life for no reason. His mom has not been charged with a crime, and I am seeing reports that there was a receipt to show that she paid for the diapers that they claim she stole. This case just gets me so angry and so worked up, and there needs to be accountability. There needs to be accountability. And I know that it is going to take some time as they investigate, but I do think that this officer needs to be held accountable. You saw this baby go into that car. This woman has not been charged with a crime, and this baby will not see the age of 2.
According to Valicia, police told her that she couldn't leave the hospital, and they kept telling the crowd that she and her friend were shoplifting, though it's unclear if the police even found anything. She also mentions that the self-checkout cameras will show that her friend paid for the diapers. Now, Valicia has not been charged with anything. Now, here's where the police story falls apart even more. Bystander footage shows the car driving away from officers, not toward them, and a photo of the vehicle shows multiple bullet holes in the passenger side window where Cohen was sitting in his mother's arms. One photo even shows a bullet hole in the windshield. Now, the police claim that the driver drove in the direction of the officers, almost striking one, but Cohen's mom says officers were on the right and her friend was driving toward the left. Even the Mississippi Department of Public Safety's own statement appears to acknowledge that officers saw the baby in the car before he even got in there and before the shots were fired.
There is nothing in Walmart that is worth the life of a child. And when his mere existence is criminalized, there's an issue. All for a box of diapers. He lost his life over a box of diapers that his mother had the receipt for. This is where we're at. This is where we are at. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Because the reality is, Black existence is criminalized.
I did a real deep dive. And when I mean deep dive, I had to go find videos. I had to go find non-major news outlet sources to figure out the mom had a receipt that she showed. She showed the receipt on live. Not only did she show the receipt, I saw footage now, and I'm reneging on what I said in that video. So it's the cop's fault. There's 3 things that are true. The prosecuting attorney's office for where this occurred at has not charged the mother with theft. She had the receipt. So that 1-year-old boy died because the cops assumed she stole the diapers. Her being at fear for her life, drove away from the cops, didn't drive towards the police. So she hasn't been charged with assault. She hasn't been charged with theft. She hasn't been charged with shit. That 1-year-old died and those cops are lying. I can't believe, you know what's crazy? And when I made that video earlier, I did a lot of research before I even made that video. It took me 1 hour and 45 minutes to find out the complete truth. And that's fucked up. I'm gonna leave my video up because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make corrections when corrections are needed. In my video, I said everybody's fucked up in this situation, right? But as I saw the comments and started doing a little deeper dive, come to find out, they just assumed a black woman stole some fucking diapers and killed her goddamn baby. What are we doing?
So you're chasing the car on foot and you're shooting after the car. No arrest been made. You responded to a shoplifting call, but you have not made one arrest, right? And even if they took these a box of diapers, how much is a box of diapers, y'all? No more than, this is Mississippi. I know it's expensive, maybe $30, $40. This is what you're doing. You're acting like these people robbed Walmart, right? And they haven't even proved that they shoplifted, like they stole these diapers. They're not releasing that information yet. So as of now, this has been investigated by the Mississippi Bureau of investigators. But yeah, this doesn't sound right. What they're releasing now is not adding up. And they're protesting. They're protesting out there. But yeah, I guess more details to come and justice for KOHEN Wiley, because a box of diapers. This is over a box of diapers.
First of all, I want to extend my deepest condolences to KOHEN Wiley's family. I also want to extend my condolences to Black community in Mississippi and to Black Americans across America who are mourning this tragic loss. Losing a child is one of the most painful experiences a family can ever endure. There is no preparation for it. There is no training for it. There is no way to fully process it. Parents are supposed to watch their children grow up, celebrate birthdays, graduations, achievements, and milestones. They are supposed to watch their children build the future. No parent expects to wake up one day and then suddenly find themselves planning for a funeral for a 1-year-old child. And that is what makes this story heartbreaking. When a child dies, it's not just the loss of a life, it's the loss of possibilities. It's the loss of the dreams that were never given a chance to become the reality. We will never know who KOHEN Wiley would have become. We will never know what gifts he would have shared with the world. We will never know what impact he could have made on his family, his community. Maybe he would have become a teacher. Maybe he would have become a doctor. Maybe he would have become a Black American activist. Maybe he would have become a mayor, a businessman, or even a president. We simply don't know. What we do know is that his future was taken away too soon. And when I think about this case, I try to put myself in the shoes of that family of KOHEN Wiley. Imagine leaving your home with your child, expecting it to be a normal day. You are thinking about groceries, errands, and everyday responsibilities as a parent. Your child is alive, healthy, and smiling. You are not expecting tragedy. You are not expecting your life to change forever. Then within moments, everything changes. You leave your home with your baby, but you do not come back home with your baby alive. That is a nightmare that no parent should ever have to experience. That is why so many Black Americans are so emotional about this story. This is why so many people are angry. This is why people across social media, across Mississippi, and across America are demanding answers. Many parents are looking at their own children and imagining what it would feel like if they were in that family's position. Many grandparents are imagining losing their grandchildren. Many people cannot stop thinking about how quickly a normal day turned into tragedy. The grief among these people is real. The pain they are experiencing is real. The outrage among Black Americans is real. And beyond the sadness, there are serious questions that people want answered. People want transparency. People want accountability. People want to know exactly what happened. Why did that policeman pull the trigger knowing that there was a young child inside the car? Because if you've heard from the mom, she was screaming that there is a child inside the car, so that the officer be cautious with whatever actions he was going to make. The black community across America want to know whether everything that occurred was justified. They want to know, why didn't this police officer prevent this tragedy to happen? What was inside his mind? What was his motive? These questions are not going away, and it is not the first time black Americans asking these similar questions. They have been hearing many stories involving police use of force, and many people have already lost trust. They wonder whether everybody is receiving equal treatment under the law. They are questioning whether enough is being done to protect innocent lives, especially the lives of black Americans. And that fear should not only concern black Americans, it should concern everybody living in America regarding the race, politics, or background. This should not be about political parties. It should not be about right versus left. It should not be about ideology. It should be about human life. A 1-year-old child is gone, and people are searching for answers. As someone who comes from Africa, I often think about how communities react when a family is struggling. As was said in those clips, there is no any item in the store that is worth the life of innocent 1-year-old child. There's no any item actually. I am from Africa, and there are similar stories like these where some people who are struggling financially can end up finding themselves stealing from stores. And I'm telling you, my country is among the third world countries, and the police here, they don't respond by shooting. They actually listen to somebody who have committed that crime of stealing, and then people put money together and help that person to pay for that product that was shoplifted. So I don't really understand how America, the richest country on the world, would react to this incident with shooting on 1-year-old innocent child just for diapers that cannot even cost up to 50 US dollars. That is so sad to hear for every human who still have humanity, who still have empathy. So you have watched how black Americans are reacting. Now I want y'all just to show your reactions to this incident down there in the comment section. Just help me to answer this question. When will racial profiling end?